And then we're going to have Dante and Galante on. These two swingers are the play-by-play guys for the Orlando Summer League, and they're absolutely nuts. And they were part of unknowingly one of those internet rumors that sort of took off about the Oklahoma City team being named the Thundercats, which I found very funny. The Oklahoma City Thundercats. We'll talk to them about how that happened and their somewhat unique style for calling games. We may need to put them on delay because I think that they don't really care. They play by their own rules, and good for them. The stylistics of Dante and Galante. Next, this is ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio. Scott Van Pelt.
ESPN Radio and ESPNRadio.com.
The Scott Van Pelt Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive. To get a free quote on motorcycle insurance, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or visit Progressive.com. Number one in motorcycle insurance. Now that's Progressive. Happy now to welcome in, I think it's fair to call them an internet sensation. You know them from OrlandoMagic.com. They have been talked about widely all over the blogs. They're taking the business by storm. It's Dante and Galante. Fellas, are you there?
Yeah, we're here. We're here, Scott, and we're happy to be missing Summer League basketball. So thanks for having us on.
You all have taken a unique approach to your play-by-play, basically showing disdain for those competing, having contests for the dumbest email of the day, etc. Did you have any idea that your style would become so popular?
No, we didn't have any idea, to be honest with you. In fact, we just sat up there, and as George always says, it's just a couple of guys watching sports. Scott, you've done the same thing. Just get your buddies sitting together,
sure,
watching a game, and you just make the comments as you see it. And unfortunately, we have an audience, though. People are hearing us, I guess.
And we tried to keep it straight, and I think it lasted, Scott, for about 15 minutes. Well, and the basketball is just, it's frankly really tough to watch. And so we just started taking emails, and it's kind of evolved into an out-of-control animal, but we like it.
It's basically like a YMCA gym, but with a better floor and better players. But, I mean, it looks like you're in the bottom of a swimming pool. And, I mean, hey, look, we led our show, we didn't lead it, but in the A block, or the first segment of our show the other night, we showed Beasley and Rose because, hey, here are these number one picks on the floor. But let's be honest, the level of play is, frankly, is pretty awful normally, isn't it?
It's really bad, and that's kind of, and to be honest, I mean, 90, in all fairness to the guys, because we know that the players, I mean, we're in the business, we work for the team.
No, I know you do. That's the fun part of the story.
We know that these athletes are, they're in the top 2% of basketball players in the world, but they're just not good enough to be in the NBA. That 95% of these guys that you're seeing on the floor, they won't sniff the floor. They won't sniff the floor in an NBA game, and they're trying their hardest. But for the diehards that watch basketball, you may as well just go down to your local playground and watch five guys playing outside. And the same thing.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys I wouldn't pick up on my 5-on-5, Scott. And that's so. Would you rather get emails from fans who know something about these guys, or call consecutive Aaron Gray turnovers? That's what it's become.
Now, it's in the interest of this. Dante and Galante rhymes, but George, the last name's Galante, correct?
Yeah, it's actually Galante.
Well, then, but I'm making it rhyme. I assume that's how we're supposed to do it because it's phonetically it just looks like it sounds like you sound like rappers or something.
Right. And I keep trying to tell Dante that why can't he be called Dante? Well, why can't it be Dante and Galante?
I think it just happened. I think it just became that right here on the Scott Van Pelt Show on ESPN Radio, and I'm damn happy about that. But George, the funny thing to me, you have a big time job with the club as the PR guy, right?
I do.
Is it in jeopardy as a result of this?
For the moment, he does. Yeah.
Right now, I do. I saw our COO walking around with two big giant pink pieces of paper yesterday, and I was a little worried. So. But, no, we have the backing of the team. Joe Glass, our VP of Communications, this was kind of his brainchild, and it just kind of created a life of its own. And we have we even got an email from somebody at the NBA saying, wouldn't this be better served to have regular commentators commenting on the game?
No!
But that's what, thankfully for us, we had the backing of the organization and the number of emails and the hits that are, we have 1.7 million hits on OrlandoMagic.com right now. And we like to think that we're contributing at least 4 of them.
And I think the most satisfying email came from the poor gentleman that had to log these games for the league.
Right.
And he sent an email saying how much he was dreading having to go in there and spend the night doing this, and that at least he had a little fun. So he was able to send in some emails, and we were able to give him a couple of laughs doing it.
Thanks to the newly named Dante and Galante.
I got to take that bullet now, don't I?
I'm afraid you do. And the blogs have picked this up. One of the blogs, and I'm a purveyor of them, Awful Announcing, has sort of made they've become big fans of yours. And it's funny, and part of the talking points for the show today from my end has been about the internet and chat rooms and how things can take on a life of their own. And to that point, one of your emailers suggested that Oklahoma City's name should be the Thundercats. And then that ends up getting picked up by people on chat rooms talking about it as if it's a real possibility. And, I mean, were you all aware that had happened?
No, we ended up finding out later, Scott. I think in all my career, that's what I'm the most proud of.
As you should be. Thundercats, ho!
Exactly, with Lion-O and Panthera. I mean, I was a big fan of that show
Who
back
wasn't?
in the 80s. Right, exactly. So we went with it, and we said, yeah, it's come down the line that this has been done. And immediately you go to – someone went to GoDaddy, and the name has been bought. You can't find OklahomaCityThundercats.com. So somebody thought we were serious.
You know what the beauty of this is you guys, you're two guys who obviously have a job you enjoy, having some fun in the summertime, and in the world that we now occupy, where the internet runs the world, you become a sensation. What's better than that?
There's nothing right now. I have to be honest. Now, we're on the Scott Van Pelt show, so that's pretty good.
No, fellas. Aim way, way higher than this. I'm pretty sure that from my friends from my Golf Channel days down there, I'm fairly certain I'm not even heard in your town.
You know what the funny thing is? Whit Watson, who works for Sun Sports now,
sure.
He was on ESPN for 7 years, and he couldn't get on ESPN Radio at all. And all we're doing is talking about cooking and gardening and how to prepare a salmon, and we're on drive time with Scott Van Pelt.
Well, listen, fellas, I mean this sincerely. It's you've taken something that could be drudgery, and you're turning it into fun, and that is a beautiful thing in the summertime. So keep doing your thing, have fun, and when you become huge stars, don't go forgetting about me. I expect to have you back on.
Scott, this is it. This is the pinnacle of my career. It's all downhill from here. So we appreciate the call.
We'll just come back on next week, Scott.
All right, fellas, have fun. I appreciate your time.
Take care.
Thank you.
Dante and Galante, the newly named, joining us here on the Scott Van Pelt Show on ESPN Radio.
Bye, Amanda. Thank you very much. That was a blast. Thank you. Hey, thanks, Scott, for us. That was great. Okay. Bye-bye.
That was pretty good.
That was really good.
Nice.
Dante and Galante.
That was pretty good. That doesn't get much better than that. I thought that was good.
Keep doing your thing. Have fun, and when you become huge stars, don't go forgetting about me. I expect to have you back on.
Scott, this is it. This is the pinnacle of my career. It's all downhill from here. Appreciate the call. We'll just come back on next week.
We'll just come on next week.
Dante and Galante.
You did it. Dante and Galante.
That's what he says.
It's the one big thing on ESPN Radio.
Nice job.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. That is unbelievable.
Good job, Dante.
Thanks, pal.
National radio. Are you going to change your name?
Unbelievable. Dante and Galante.
You got to now.
We got to now, don't we?
No.